In today's video, we will be going through the 1990s science fiction action film Total Recall. Spoilers ahead, you have been warned. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment on what your favorite part was, and subscribe to our channel for more. This movie follows the story of Earth after it is devastated by chemical warfare at the end of the 21st century. Almost all the planet is left uninhabitable, leaving only two regions. Precious livable lands include the United Federation of Britain, known as the UFB, located on the British Isles and northwestern Europe, and the Colony, covering the Australian region. UFB is administered by a chancellor named Cohagen. Cohagen's only motive is to cleanse the colony and conquer it for the people of UFB. Most of the laborers and other workforce are usually brought from the colony. Factory workers living in the colony quickly commute to the UFB each day via the Fall, the only possible transport, a gravity elevator through the Earth's core which takes approximately 17 minutes to traverse. In the beginning, an unconscious and injured guy, Douglas, is woken up by a mysterious girl. Both of them are trapped in a facility and confronted by a group of armed android police force. Douglas shoots two of the police and runs away with the girl. Both of them arrive in a place through which they can escape. Douglas tells the girl that he loves her and they both share a kiss. One of the androids fires a gun, leaving both Douglas's and the girl's palm injured. Then he lets the girl go, but he is shot by an electric rope fired by one of the policemen. Douglas is captured, but the girl escapes through the water canal just beneath. She unwillingly dives into the water after Douglas insists. Douglas then assures the girl that he will find her. Suddenly, Douglas wakes up in his bed. It seems that the incident is just a recurring nightmare that has been bothering him frequently. After a while, Lori, Douglas's wife, also wakes up and asks Douglas if it's the same dream. Douglas tells Lori about it but hides the fact that there was a girl in the dream. Lori's phone suddenly beeps with a notification. She sees the phone and tells Douglas that it's an emergency. A bombing has occurred in a passenger glide train, killing more than 144 people. Lori is a government agent, so she leaves immediately, telling Douglas that she has to respond to the event. After Lori leaves, Douglas watches the news about the bombing. The bombing was devised by a resistance group led by Matthias, which the UFB views as a terrorist movement. Matthias, the resistance leader, seeks to improve the living condition in the colony and claims that the Fall enslaves the citizens of the colony. Douglas also learns that the man behind the bombing is Carl Hauser, a former intelligence officer turned traitor considered Matthias's right-hand man. Douglas, after realizing that it's time for work, leaves the apartment. When Douglas is on his way to the Fall, he sees an advertisement for an artificial memory implanting program called the Recall. Recall is a modern program that allows users to install their fantasy in their brain as a real memory. Douglas curiously looks at the large ad screen and continues his way to his work. As Douglas arrives at the Fall, he sees police arresting a person from the resistance. Harry, Douglas's best friend from his work, arrives and greets him as they join other people in their journey to the UFB. As they board the Fall, Douglas shares his disappointment about the same monotonous routine that they've had for years. Douglas also mentions Recall to Harry, but Harry claims that Recall ruins the user's mind permanently. Meanwhile, Chancellor Cohagen announces an increase in the manufacture of robotic police on the news due to the growing terrorist movement. Since all the traveling workers are associated with the production, everyone, including Douglas and Harry, must work overtime. After some time, Douglas and all the passengers reach the UFB, passing through the Earth's core. Later, in the factory, Douglas is assigned the responsibility to train a new guy named Marek. During the conversation, Marek reveals his experience of Recall as he overheard Douglas and Harry talking about Recall a while ago. He claims everything Harry said was wrong. Marek hands out a business card to Douglas, telling him to find a guy named Mac. Marek also says that Mac is the guy who can answer all his doubts. Douglas takes the card and keeps it with him. After having a hectic workday, Douglas goes to his apartment where he is troubled by the same dream with the mysterious girl. Douglas wakes up to find that his wife is back home after her duty and asleep. Douglas then goes out and meets his friend Harry in a bar. In the bar, Douglas shares the same thing, the issue with the routine they're following, and again talks about the recall. But this time, Harry is drunk and yells at Douglas to go back home and forget about the recall. Douglas nods and lets Harry go while he heads out in search of recall. Douglas eventually finds the place and meets Mac, the guy he was referred to by his new friend Marek. Mac briefs Douglas about the benefits of the recall and lets him choose different memories that can be written into Douglas's brain. Douglas opts for the spy program, which he relates to his recurring nightmare. Mac warns Douglas that only fantasies can be installed in a brain. He also tells Douglas that the fantasy should not in any way be a reality, as being real can harm Douglas permanently. Douglas agrees and sits for the procedure. An emblem of recall is stamped onto his arm, and just as the fantasy is being loaded by technician Mac, they discover that Douglas already has real memories of being a spy. Mac is furious and denies continuing as the program cannot be uploaded, and yells at Douglas asking who he works for. At the same time, suddenly a group of federal police burst in and kill all the recall staff. The police then try to arrest Douglas, but Douglas instinctively knocks all of them down successfully. Douglas is surprised by his ability. Douglas succeeds in getting away from the mess by detonating grenades from the police he knocked out. After fleeing the scene, Douglas reaches his home, meets his wife Lori, and tells her everything about the incident. Lori pretends to be shocked after hearing Douglas's story and hugs him. But Lori deceptively tries to choke Douglas to death. Douglas and Lori then fight against each other. Lori confesses to Douglas that she was hired by Cohaagen to keep an eye on Douglas and that she is not his real wife. After realizing that they've not been married for 7 years and that Lori is trying to kill him, Douglas now also knows that Cohaagen is behind all of this, trying to hide Douglas from the resistance. Douglas again successfully escapes while Lori informs her squad about the situation. Pursued by Lori, human, and android police, Douglas gets a call through a high-tech phone hidden beneath his palm. He accepts the call. The caller is Hammond, who claims to have worked with Douglas in federal intel together. Hammond also reveals Douglas's real name is Henry. Hammond then instructs Douglas to get the key and get rid of the mobile device as he is being tracked through it. Right after the call, Douglas gets a message with a bank name and box number. Then he removes the phone from his palm by cutting his skin with broken glass. Douglas then disguises himself with a hoodie. Lori gets a call from the Chancellor, who reveals the truth about Douglas and orders her not to use lethal force because Douglas is important. Instead, Lori, after hanging up the call, instructs her subordinates to kill Douglas if he is seen as a potential threat to the group. Douglas reaches the bank and finds the box. Inside it, he finds his and 2 other passports, which include Hammond's as well. Douglas also finds a video recorded by him in the past, which reveals he was captured and planted with fake memories. Douglas from the video also tells present-day Douglas to find the key from his apartment. Now, Douglas heads to the UFB disguised as another person, but is caught on entry. He is luckily saved by the girl from his dream, Melina. Melina and Douglas try to flee, but are pursued by Lori and her team. Eventually, they succeed in getting rid of Lori and the company. During the escape, Melina is knocked out due to a high-speed crash, so Douglas carries her to the apartment. At the apartment, Douglas finds another recording, reveal that he is Carl Hauser, an agent working for UFB Chancellor Cohaagen to infiltrate the resistance, later turned rebel. Hauser now knows Cohaagen's true intention behind tripling the production of synthetics. He also learns about the kill code stored in his brain, which can deactivate all the androids that Cohaagen controls. Hauser has to deliver the code to Matthias to prevent Cohaagen's plan. Meanwhile, Melina wakes up and explains to Hauser more about his true identity and shows him how they had an identical mark in the palm. Douglas used to think that it was due to the accident in the factory, but was actually from the gunshot that he often saw in his dreams. Soon, Harry arrives in the apartment with Lori and a fleet of android force. Here, Harry tries to persuade Hauser to believe that all of this was due to the recall failure. Harry also tries to convince Hauser that he is Douglas in real life and has to kill Melina, as she is the epicenter of all the nightmares he has been having. Instead, Hauser shoots Harry and runs away with Melina. Lori again pursues Hauser and Melina. All of them fight in an elevator for a while. Lori unexpectedly plants an explosive in the elevator to finish off Hauser and Melina at once. After activating the bomb, Lori jumps out of the elevator, leaving Hauser and Melina inside. The two get out of the elevator safely. Following this, Hauser and Melina head out to meet Matthias. On the way, he is greeted by other fellow Resistance members who seem to be pleased to know that Hauser is back. Matthias explains to Hauser about the real intention of the resistance and assures him of his identity. Matthias and Hauser agree to retrieve the code from the black box containing the kill code from Hauser's brain. They start the extraction procedure by searching Hauser's brain, but notice that the code is encrypted. Suddenly, Cohagen interrupts the process as he storms the facility along with Lori. Matthias is killed during the conflict and Melina is captured by Lori. Hauser is also forcefully captured and prepared by Cohagen's men for another memory alteration process. As the officers are about to inject Hauser with a memory-wiping serum, a mysterious guy from the police squad helps Hauser to escape. The guy is none other than Hammond, whom he had contacted previously. Hammond is killed in the shooting and Hauser leaves the site and heads to rescue Melina. Cohagen initiates his plan to invade the colony by boarding all the synthetic into the fall to be commuted. Just in time, Hauser successfully gets into the elevator and rescues Melina, where they kiss. They plant explosives in the elevator, but Hauser is momentarily confronted by Cohagen once again. Just as Cohagen is about to shoot Hauser, Melina appears in a fighter plane and opens fire on all the enemies and saves Hauser again. The explosive detonates right on time, causing the elevator to collapse, taking all the synthetic troops with it. Now, the only transport that connects the UFB and the colony is entirely destroyed. Hauser stabs Cohagen and finally kills him, but is injured by the explosion's impact. Later, an unconscious Hauser wakes up and finds himself at the medical facility with Melina by his side. As Melina accompanies him, Hauser doubts her appearance and asks about the identical scar they share in the palm. But it turns out she is Lori, who has used a holographic device to change her identity and disguise herself as Melina to lure Hauser. Hauser, after knowing the truth, once again fights with Lori. Following this, Hauser shoots Lori, finally killing her. After that, he goes looking for Melina and meets her. In the news, the colony is declared to be independent of the United Federation of Britain. Thanks for watching, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel to see more of these movie summaries.